Hey guys, welcome to another video on More Motivation. I am so excited to be consistently back on your screens because sis has been MIA. Sis has not been consistent. But you know what I vowed to myself? I said, I'm turning 30. And if I'm going to step into my 30s doing all the things I did wrong in my 20s, that's not how we coming into 30. We come into 30 with a lot of pressure to make sure that we putting the foot on the gas, okay? So believe me, you guys are going to be seeing way more of me. No more going away for months on end and just going missing. You guys are going to see that consistency. Today is another rendition of More Motivation Soul Chat. And we are about to get into something good for my ladies, for my gents. I truly believe at the end of this video, you're going to feel so good about yourself. I believe that. I truly do. So let's get into it. Our special episode today of More Motivation Soul Chat is going to be about maintaining identity while in love, while in a serious relationship. And I'm sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background. Yeah, he's annoying. But yeah. So, maintaining identity while in love. How do you maintain exactly who the heck you are while you're in love with a complete different opposite person who you're in love with, who you are walking through life with? How do you maintain that individuality? And I'm telling you guys, when I really thought of this topic, I was like, I gotta share it with the people because I'm literally living that exact truth right now as we speak. I'm currently in a serious relationship. We've been together for almost 2 years, and I would say going on 2 years, and it has been I'm gonna be honest with you, a struggle with me making sure that I'm prioritizing my me time. I'm prioritizing what's important to me personally outside of what's important to us together and to who he is. Like, I've had to really take a step back recently and say, Kendra, you gotta pay attention to yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta literally take time away and really focus on you, because you have almost overwhelmed yourself with being so invested in just your partner. And let's be honest, that's not a bad thing, to just love on your partner, to be there for them, to spend as much time with them. That's the beauty of being in a relationship, especially when you just like who you love. It's one thing to love them, but it's another thing to like the person that you're in love with. So don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing to get caught up in the person. But if you're losing your identity in the process, if your identity is being overshadowed, if your identity is not being elevated to the level that God would want it to be elevated at, if you are dismissing your purpose just to be under the person that you're with and their purpose, that's not the position you want to be at in life. So let's just tackle identity, because we all are on a search of just understanding who we are, understanding why we're here, understanding what it is that God is trying to do with our lives. Why are we even surviving all of these crazy things that we're surviving? Why have we not been caught up in a mass shooting? Why have we been able to survive car accidents? Why are we, being able to survive COVID? whatever it is that you survived, I'm pretty sure in your mind, you're like, wow, like God really wants to keep me around for something. And so when you really tackle your identity and why you're still alive and why you're still on the earth, you really have to be able to analyze that journey alone. Because I truly believe that real identity is discovered not just with you and God, but it's discovered with the time that you spend with yourself and the time that you invest in yourself. So the thing is that if you haven't done that work, if you haven't taken that time, what'll happen is you'll be trying to find out who you are through how someone else sees you, through how the person that you're in love with views you, what they think about you. But real identity has nothing to do with the way that your partner sees you, with what they think about you. It has nothing to do with that. You want to know exactly who you are, regardless if that person is in your life or not. Let's just keep it real. You want to know why God has placed you where he's placed you, why you are the way you are, why you even survived the trauma that you survived, why you even have the issues that you have. You want to be able to go on that discovery completely solo in an intimate journey with you and God. Because what will happen on that journey is you'll begin to find out things about yourself that you weren't facing because you got so caught up in the relationship that you're in. And it's very easy. Let me just talk to the ladies. It's very easy, ladies, for us to be so goo gaga and just like, oh my gosh, I love him. He's amazing. You know, when the next time we're going to spend together? I'm always at his house. I want to just be with him all the time. Or if you're married, you're just so obviously very invested in the person that you're married to, that you're with, that you've had kids with. And again, let me make that disclaimer. There's nothing wrong with having that passion for the person that you're with. Having that passion to say that I can put myself aside and just be present for this person that I love. But if your values and your identity is being lost in that process, it's one of the worst positions to be in, because you're not able to be your best self to the person that you're in love with if you don't know who you are. That's first things first. Like, if you want to be the best partner to the person that you're with, if you want your marriage to be stronger, if you want to be able to communicate better to the person that you love, if you want to be able to grow in a healthy manner so that this relationship lasts forever, you gotta be able to know who you are individually on your own journey. I cannot stress that enough. So while you're obviously in love, first things first, you got to be able to have your own me time. You got to be able to have that time with your friends. You got to be able to have that tribe that's there, that has nothing to do with bae, that literally is just there to vent to, people that are sharpening you, not hurting your relationship with your partner, people that are making you better to your partner. You want to have that tribe. You want to have that outlet. You want to have hobbies and things to do that are important to you. You want to be able to make sure that everything that brings you peace, everything that makes you happy, that has nothing to do with your partner, you want to make sure that your life is a complete reflection of those things. Because if you're neglecting what makes you happy just to be in love with somebody, if you're neglecting time with your friends, time with your family, time with, your coworkers, whoever that you like being around, if you're neglecting that just to be in a relationship because you want to make this person feel very special and needed and highlighted, what'll happen is you'll lose that tribe. You won't have that support system that was there for you before you met this person. Let's be honest now. You won't have that tribe that's been there through the storm, that's seen you through some dark places. And again, I'm only talking about a healthy tribe. I'm not talking about the toxic people that ain't got no business being in your life. I'm talking about the ones that have seen you through it all. You don't want to neglect those people just so you can be present and in love with the person that you're with. Now, let's be honest. When you're in love, we know that you're probably going to go missing for a little bit, because it happens. All of us have been guilty of being so caught up in our relationship where our friends probably don't hear from us, or our family don't even hear from us that much. It's like that beginning stage when you just so caught up in your relationship. Some people usually don't even get out of that stage. I'm not going to say no names, but some people don't get out of that stage. So the point that I'm making is, if you have a healthy tribe that's been there with you through it all, don't neglect them. Make sure that you're prioritizing time with that tribe, because they're going to be the ones that's going to balance out not only the time you spend with your partner, but they're going to balance out you needing to have that outlet, you needing to get away. And I can imagine in this pandemic, being in quarantine, a lot of people have been all up under, their significant other. And it's put a strain on your relationship, because you guys have probably not even been used to being home with each other this much. And now you realize the value of having outlets, having things to do that just truly make you happy. So make sure that you're really doing that, because if you're not, it's going to put a strain on your relationship. That person is going to feel the weight of, well, I'm their best friend because they don't really have no friends. They neglected them. I'm their family because they don't really talk to their family. They don't really keep up with their family. I'm their cousin. I'm everything. I'm their therapist. And don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing to have a partner that can just be all of these amazing things to you. But you also got to realize that they're just one person, and they deserve to be able to have a healthy balance of all of your weight, all that comes with you. They deserve that, because they got their own stuff that they're dealing with. Just because you're in love and just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that the person that you're with doesn't already have their own stuff that they're dealing with. So it's like, if you neglect your tribe, if you neglect the people who've been there, you're putting so much unnecessary pressure and a strain on your relationship. Believe me, I've been there, done that. I've been there, done that, where I've dated a man who did not have any friends, and I was his only friend. I was his only person that he hung with. He didn't have nobody to call to hang out with. And at first it was cute, because let's be honest, ladies, you like, I like this, he ain't going out. I know exactly where he is. He always want to be around me. It's cute at first, right? It's very cute. But then after a while, you realize, like, wait, so why don't you have guys to just call and say, hey, bro, let's go out somewhere. Let's get drinks. Let's chill. Like, why don't you have that? So after a while, it kind of became concerning. So I say all of that to say, it's important to have outlets, and not just through people, just through things that you love. Like, for me personally, like, I love going to the park. That's been, as of recently, really since the pandemic started, that's been in one of my peaceful, and actually my boyfriend exposed me to parks, but it's been one of my peaceful me time outlets, and it just brings me so much peace. It brings me so much joy to just listen to nature, be outside, and just be one with my thoughts, and pray, and just journal, and just meditate, and to work out. Like, I just love parks. I love discovering parks. And so the big part of my identity is making sure that I'm investing that time into what I love. Now, another part of maintaining your identity while in love is to make sure that you're checking in on yourself. Because when you're in a serious relationship, or let's say if you're a parent, or let's say that you're all of these things for so many people, you got to be able to check in on you and say, okay, wait, how am I doing? Am I okay? Is my mental health the way it needs to be? Am I putting myself through way too much? Am I putting too much on my plate that I can't really handle? Like, check in on yourself. Do those self-care Sundays. Do those self-care Thursdays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays, whatever day you got to turn into self-care. Make sure that you have that. Because if you don't check in on where your mental health is, it's going to also put a strain on your relationship. It's going to affect the way you view yourself. It's going to affect the way you see happiness. It's going to put you in a position where you're thinking that it's your partner's responsibility to solely provide you with happiness, not even realizing that you're a part of you being happy. Your partner bringing you happiness is a bonus, but it's not an end all be all. It's not a, if this person doesn't bring me happiness, I don't see value in life. I don't see joy in life, because that's a dangerous place to be in. And the biggest thing I can tell you, in order to really find out who you are, why you're here, what all of this means, you gotta be one with your Creator. Because without Him exposing to you, without personal time with Him, without devotion with Him, you are gonna be just in a limbo. You're gonna be making assumptions, and it's gonna feel good for a while. But you're going to be trying to put different pieces together that you weren't meant to figure out on your own. Only God, who created you, who made you, who put every hair stitched together on your head, who literally knew how your eyes were going to look, your nose were going to look, who knew the way you were going to think, who knew the power that was just ready to come out of you from a young age. Only God can expose to you who you are based off the season that you're in, because identity evolves. You're never the same person from a previous year. You may do the same things, but you're never the same person. You're constantly going to be evolving and growing, especially in a relationship. So again, if you want your relationship to last with your partner, you gotta be able to spend that personal time with the person who can tell you who you are. It's almost like somebody having all the answers, having the complete key to your peace, to your joy, to the blessings that were waiting for you from the day you were born. It's like literally telling that person, I know you got all the answers, but I don't want it, because I think I'm doing pretty well figuring it all out on my own. But I truly believe, and I don't mean this to scare you, that life is going to humble you. Life is going to put you in a position where you're at your knees and you really will have nowhere else to turn but to Jesus. And I'm not trying to get religious on you. I'm not trying to get deep on you, but I'm just trying to tell you that the world will cough you up, it will spit you out, and you'll be trying to find your identity through so many different outlets, because you will think that you understand who you are, where you're at right now. But the only way you'll really understand who you are is talking and getting to know the person who made you. It sounds simple. It sounds cliche, but it's such an important concept, because to really have the ability to tap in with the person who created heaven and earth, who created everything that we're seeing around you, to tap in to what he thinks about you, to tap in to why he's even brought you through the things he's brought you through, why you even grew up the way you do, why you even have the parents you have, why you have the siblings you have, why you have the experiences you have. Only he can put those puzzle pieces together so you can really understand who you are as you're evolving. Like for me at 30, like I feel like I'm coming into more of an awareness of where I'm headed. I'm really getting that like strong sense of, girl, you going somewhere. Something big is about to shift in your life. But if you take your eyes off God, you're going to miss it. Like that's where my head is at. Like I know something big is about to happen for my purpose, for where that I'm headed. Like this next decade of my life, like I know it's going to change my life forever. Like my 40s, my 50s, my 60s are going to be completely set up based off of the decisions and the experiences that God is going to bring me through in my 30s. Like I really believe that. So, like, as I think about being in love, I think about the fact that if I didn't have God guiding me, if I didn't have him giving me those revelations, I would not be able to be present in my relationship. I would not be able to be any sort of a vibe, any sort of this person that anybody would want to be with if I'm not attached to the person who made me, who created me, who knows me better than I know myself. So it's just important that you are prioritizing spending time with your loved ones, your friends, your tribe, spending time with yourself, loving on yourself, saying, look, I love me, not because I'm in love with somebody else, but I love me because I'm dope. I've been through some hard stuff. Like, I'm really that girl. I'm really him. Whoever you are watching, you really got to just look at yourself in the mirror and have that confidence that has nothing to do with the way your partner sees you, and say, look, like, you're doing good. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of how you've been able to bounce back from the traumatic blows that the enemy tried to throw at you. Like, I'm proud of you. You got to be able to look at yourself and just like dap yourself up and say, girl, you going somewhere. You doing something. Like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of where you're going. I'm proud of the fact that you didn't stay in that dark place in the past. Like, you got to be able to look at yourself and say that. Because when you're doing that, when you're affirming yourself, everything that your partner gives you is just a bonus. It's just extra to the love that you already have shown yourself. So I hope that this More Motivation Soul Chat blessed you. I hope that if you're in love right now, if you're in a relationship right now, I hope that you really take the time to check in on yourself. Like, it's vital at this point that you make sure that you are prioritized just as much as you prioritize the person that you love. Just as much as you prioritize your kids, just as much as you prioritize all the other people that need you, that require you. Make sure that you're being everything you need to be for yourself. Because when all those people go away, if they go away, the only person that you're going to be left with is you. So you should be taking care of you and checking in on you more than anybody. Period. And that's on period. So I hope that you were blessed by this. Share, subscribe, like. Make sure that you're joining me on IG at More Motivation, MOORER Motivation, where I post constant inspirational content, pictures, videos. New reels are coming soon. So just follow me on my journey. I would love to see my YouTube family join my IG family, because we're just literally one big happy family. I love you guys. Have a good week.